Welcome to GaulCast, and I am so happy to announce that we have Branogarâ back. Welcome back, Branogarâ.
Well, hello, and thank you. I'm pretty happy to be back. Had to take a little bit of a break there.
We all need a break sometimes, and trust me, I've been there where, like, I think I postponed recordings because I just needed to step away just for like a week or so.
It happens. It happens. I had a lot happening, needed to step back from a few things, and my podcasts are what I stepped back from.
Yeah.
So most online things is what I stepped back from, and just was dealing with regular life as it came.
That's fair. That's totally fair. So, what have you been how you been this whole time? I haven't really been keeping in touch with you a whole lot, except for just the occasional checkups.
I've been good. Had to deal with some mental health stuff, which happens. It's no big deal. And also focusing on learning more about being a dog trainer and getting a school bus to travel and learn how to train dogs from various trainers. And just kind of focusing on getting my business put together so that I can eventually take on clients. Not yet, because I'm still an apprentice, but I can eventually take on clients. And so it took a lot of time and a lot of focus, just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. And so once I figured that out, then we had to figure out how to implement it and how to work it into our lives. And here we are.
Awesome. How's I know you say you stepped away from it, but how's the was it the dog themed podcast going?
Oh, that one's actually going pretty good. We are on a hiatus right now. We have an episode at the beginning of November, and then we're going to close out until after the new year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's good. I know. I haven't been keeping up on really any podcasts just because I just haven't had time. But that's good. It's good to hear that you got a business that's going to be really cool. I know my mom's getting a dog here soon, and she was wanting to. I rent, and my landlord does not want animals here whatsoever. And my mom's already like, well, can I just keep her there for like a day or two? And it's hard to explain how leases work, but yeah.
I had a foster puppy for about a month, and then after I handed her off to the rescue, I got a fifth dog. So now I have five, and he is a little 8-month-old boxer.
Oh,
and he's a handful, but he's adorable and sweet.
as pups are.
They are. Most of mine are a handful. He is a blissfully normal puppy. Like no behavioral issues, nothing like that. Just a normal puppy.
Awesome. Oh yeah, well, we definitely missed you. I know you're clearly you were the head of our organization because Daglabaros and I were just kind of going episode by episode.
Yeah, I got to go back and take a look at our administrative stuff and sort everything out so we can start the next season and carry on forward while I'm traveling.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to really thank Daglabaros for stepping in when he did. He was the first person I reached out to, and he's like, yeah, no problem. I'll help out. And yeah, he hooked us up with a couple of good guests, and yeah, really helpful. I really thank you again, brother.
Thank you, Daglabaros.
But yeah, the rest of the season, as we've mentioned in previous episodes, is going to be mainly focused on the traditions within Gaulish polytheism. I know we had one that we started recording, and then thanks to my computer, we lost half that episode, so we'll have to redo that one. But and we've had Selgo Wiros talk about a little bit about Senobessus Bolgon and Kuno with Tato Galation, which is more of an organization than a tradition. But I guess they, if I remember right, after talking with Kuno, Tautogalaxian was like, or at least Gaul chat was kind of a tradition initially, and then it just morphed into kind of this organization, this meeting hall of Gaulish polytheists. But well, yeah, we'll definitely have all the favorites back on here to talk about the various traditions. Yeah, that'll be fun. Definitely looking forward to all that. And for anyone listening, I'll have to cut that out. That was a stupid thing to say because it's a podcast. But I've been doing what I can with our YouTube. We have most of our podcast episodes on there, with the exception of the one minisode I did to kind of fill in time. That I wanted the minisodes to strictly be in podcast form, and then I have these short and condensed videos that I hope you guys enjoyed. The first episode we did, or I did, seems to be doing well, and I'm currently in production of the next one that was really really hard to do at first, but I finally figured out the direction I wanted to go with it. So that'll be soon-ish. I don't know if it'll be before or after this comes out, but roughly the same time. But yeah, this made
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, it's good it's been fun to try to bring in this information, but also do it in my own humorous style, because I like to make the jokes. It's what I like to do.
Me too. I think that you have to be able to have a little levity when it comes to such serious topics.
Here, I'm gonna pause this. Yeah, and that's something I've always kind of felt, is that if it's too dry, if it's too just information, it loses a lot of people. Like, one of my favorite books I have up here is the Book of Druidry, and I like that book. It's got a lot of information, but it's like all information, and it's the driest thing I've ever read, to where I skipped a chapter because it was making me fall asleep.
Yeah, so I've done that with a few books. I'm like, nope, okay, we're just gonna set this aside for now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's such a good book, but oh man, it's a snoozer.
It's like reading a textbook.
Yes, that's basically how it feels. So I don't want to do that with the YouTube. So I try to add some of my humor. Not going too dark, because I have pretty dark humor, but just try to keep it nice and well, we're military, so that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, just try to keep it lighthearted enough so people are able to absorb that information and like stay kind of hooked in. But this may not be a very long episode, but I should mention though that this is the 1 year anniversary from, if this goes out on the 15th, it'll be the 1 year since I started the first episode.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah. So the YouTube episode will probably come out just prior to this guy, because I think that it's should be special that I release this on the 15th.
I think so too. I think that's awesome. I'm so glad that we're at a year. Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
1 year since I recorded in the closet right over there, and I had to do it like 6 or 7 times because I was so nervous, and I was literally talking into my phone like it was a person. It was very weird, but it got done. And we just had our anniversary of also Catus Alessia. I know last year I was calling it Catu, but I guess it's Catus Alessia. The Siege of Alessia, which is a very somber occasion, and definitely a time for kind of reflection and mourning, but also just reverence for the ancestors. It's definitely a very ancestral holiday. And kind of just like what I did with the first episode, just a quick not quick, but just a 10-second moment of silence, just in honor of those that fell that day. So anyone that's listening to this, I think, I'm not sure if it's still on YouTube, but I know the Tataglation YouTube had a online altar for people to kind of use virtually. I'm not sure if it's still accessible, but even though it's already come and gone, it's still not too late to kind of, pay respects, I feel.
I don't think it's too far either. All right, so in a year we have done what, 10 episodes?
Yep, 10 full-length episodes.
10 full-length episodes. We've done Catualicia, Clingy Calendar, what is Gaulish polytheism, who are the Gauls, what is animism, the Around Grandfather Fire co-podcast, which was a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
And then the gods, ancestor worship and heroes, spirits. It looks like you got that one done while I was gone. And then I'm not sure what else after that because I think I was out.
That's what I did in the mini-sode, because the episode we were trying to do,
prayers, rituals, and
that one's happening. It's gonna come up, but we had to reconfigure that one because of scheduling, and my computer hates me at times. So
that's okay. That's okay. Computers are evil. We all know that.
They are.
Technological overlords.
I thought I could trust HP, but HP let me down. Let me down hard.
Never trust HP. HP is terrible.
Yeah, that's on me. I thought wrong.
But I think that I'm really happy with how far it's come and how much has been done.
Absolutely.
And we've got to wrap up this season. We got 2 more episodes for this season that we need to do, and then we'll take a little break and come back with season 2.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. And I really got to thank you too, because I don't know how far I would have gone solo. I mean, I don't know. Because when I first started this, I had a lot of confidence issues, and people listening, that was like the one really big critique that they were giving me, was that they could hear the lack of confidence in my voice. But having you around, like not long after that, you reached out and said you wanted to be co-host, and immediately you got everything organized, and it made me feel more confident and comfortable. That's how my brain works. I have too many things that I want to come out.
That's okay.
Too many things to come out my mouth at once, so it always meshes together into some bizarre Dr. Seuss word.
That's all right.
So yeah,
that's how my brain functions too.
I got more confident and comfortable, and when we had a good direction, it was a lot easier, and it became a lot more organic, and it grew in a healthy way, that when you needed your time off, all I needed was just someone else to kind of come in and just be an additional voice, just someone to talk to in case we couldn't get a guest, because doing this solo is weird. Even doing the mini-sode was weird. that was, and the one that I put out, that was attempt number 2, because the first time I was literally out in my shed carving, so you could hear my Dremel in the background, which is not off-putting at all. I swear to you, I was just ranting about everything on my mind, and that was from politics to just anything you can think of. And it was, I listened back to it, I'm like, this is not a healthy podcast to listen to. So I decided to scrap it, and then I was like, why don't I just talk about carving? And then that's how that came about. So if you ever need to just fill in time, you or I or both of us can just do like a mini-sode. And yeah, anyway, but we've done a lot in a year, and I'm thrilled with it, honestly. And
Well, I'm really happy with how far it's come along. That I was able to take a break without having to worry too much, which was good because I needed to be able to disconnect from everything, and be able to come back and smoothly just reintegrate back into doing the podcast.
Absolutely. And that there may be a day where I have to do that as well. I don't know when that's going to happen, just because like I said before we started recording, I just started my own personal TikTok, not a GaulCast TikTok, just my own. And I've already put out 2 TikToks on that because I'm a crazy person and I'm not doing enough. Apparently I'm not.
Okay. I have a personal TikTok and a business TikTok and 2 podcasts, and I'm starting a 3rd podcast because I'm a lunatic.
Yeah. That's just, we're 2 crazy people, and yeah, we're just not doing enough. So yeah, if one of us needs to just step away from it, it's good to know that the show can still go on. And I definitely feel like if I need to do that, you could be able to do the same. So
yeah, I could do it.
Yeah,
it might be a little weird, but I'm a little weird.
Well, so am I. But
we'd have to find somebody who can tolerate my my inability to remain terribly serious about things for terribly long.
And I feel. Yeah, because we're weird, and the aesthetic of the show is that we're just 2 weird people talking about something we're passionate about, and that we're hopefully helping other people. And every now and then I'll go on the TG Discord, the Gaul chat. I have to like monitor myself because I said Gaul chat when I meant GaulCast, and I said GaulCast when I meant Gaul chat. So I have to do that. And I think you've caught me a couple of times doing that too.
I have.
But yeah, I've gone in there and I've gone through the introductions, and it always warms my heart when I see someone, because in the questionnaire it says, how did you find the community? And it's really cool to see when they cite us as something that they discovered that led them to, Tauta Galation or any of the other traditions, or just Gaulish polytheism in general. It's really cool, and that I couldn't ask for anything more, because that's the whole point I wanted to do this, is because there was nothing for Gaulish polytheists in podcast form, and now there's yeah. I mean, now Kuno and Branos on occasion, I think they've kind of went on hiatus right now. They've had their own.
They do
the Raven and the Hound.
Yeah, the Raven and the Hound, or the Hound and the Raven, or something like that.
Yeah.
And theirs is very serious.
Very serious, and it's so if you like something that's an hour and a half or so long, that's very serious,
and
definitely
very serious. They find them on YouTube, and it's
it's a good
podcast.
Yeah, they're under the Tauta Galation channel on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's great stuff. I've listened to them at work, and it's way more serious, but they get a lot of great information out there.
They do, and it's a good listen. I'm just not that serious of a human.
Neither am I.
Can't do it.
Well, I think
like to say I can, but no.
Like when I started the TikTok, I was like, I'm gonna do this serious, and then after the first video I made, I was like, I can't do this serious. And that's basically my approach to everything I've done. I was like, I'm gonna be serious about this, and then after I do it once serious, I'm like, I can't do this serious anymore. I
apologize, everybody in the background. I know you're going to hear clicking because I'm typing, but I am actually working while we're recording this.
Yeah. Yeah, because you work your job while doing this, because again, we're crazy weirdos.
One pays.
Well, I think it's time we do the something we haven't done in a while, which is touch on the next
been a wee minute.
Yeah, the next Senobessus Bolgon virtue. I don't remember what the last one was about, piety. So because Senobessus Bolgon, they don't have a word for their virtues. It's at least not in Gaulish. So this one is maintain and train strength. And So I'm reading off their website right now. The Bolgoi understand that Segos, which I'm trying to remember what Segos is. I want to say that's like strength or valor. It's something really cool like that. But anyway, Sego comes through effort and discipline. The uh the applies, oh, that must be a typo. The applies to all of one's, I think they meant to say this applies to all of one's life. By the way, I know my WordPress has got typos galore, so I'm not like bashing Senobessus Bolgon. It happens.
There.
while there will be Bolgoi who may struggle with the training for strength, there is always a way. And that was something that kind of really resonated with you and I before I hit record. It because we're both military, and that's definitely a very military virtue to have, which is to not only train in a skill but to maintain it, or in this case strength and discipline. If you look at old pictures of me,
isn't necessarily going to be physical.
Yeah.
It can be any number of things. It can be mental, it can be emotional. And I think that the way that it's worded sounds very much like it's focused on the physical aspect. Now, on the one hand, yes, caring for your body is celebrating the doi and the gods, but at the same time, if you have somebody who can't, somebody who's got an autoimmune, who's got, a physical disability or whatever it is, you can train your mind. You can discipline your mind and bring discipline to your life without it having to necessarily be physical.
Absolutely. And, looking at if I were to, bring up an old picture of me in my dress blues, compare that to me now, vast difference. I am about 200 pounds heavier than when I first went into boot camp. So yeah, the physical thing, it definitely, the context, the wording definitely points to a more physical thing. But as you get older, as you get more kind of things to do, I used to go to the gym all the time, but I now have 5 kids. That's just not an option for me unless I want to lose even less sleep and go to the Snap Fitness that's in town that's 24/7. That's just not an option. Now, because of my diabetes, I do have to eat healthier, so I have dropped some weight. But like as you were saying, is that over time, even if you were like be super duper fit, your body is going to wear down over time as we age, because that's what aging does, is that our bodies become more frail, but our mind typically stays intact. So so on top of keeping our bodies healthy and strong to the best of our ability, it is just as important, if not more important, to definitely focus on our mind and our mental attitude, especially nowadays when mental health is becoming more center stage in a lot of people's lives, and it is becoming
less stigmatized.
Exactly.
In some aspects, it's becoming less stigmatized. In some aspects, it's just simply becoming more known. And being able to tend to your mental health and being able to keep your mind sharp and discipline your focus, what you read, how you react to things, that takes its own amount of strength and discipline. So I like to think this is applicable there as well. Also tending to your emotional health, whether that's going through therapy or doing something that is going to help you keep your emotional health sharp and healthy. Whether through art or music or physical fitness or whatever it is that your choice is, it is a manner of maintaining and training your mind and your emotions and keeping yourself strong.
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree more. And
a great example of that was me taking a 3-month break.
That's just what I was going to bring up. Yeah, you took a 3-month break because you needed it. If you bringing it back to like that physical aspect, if you focus on a certain body part, say if you're one of these dudes that you have to do chest and biceps, if you do that over and over and over again, it not only, yes, you are building strength there, but it is going to, if you keep pushing too much on that focus, your you're the rest of your body is going to suffer for it, and the body parts you have been working on are getting so much stress because you're so focused on that it is going to damage at some point as well.
Don't skip leg day.
Exactly. Never skip leg day. You don't want to look like Johnny Bravo. But in another, like, for me personally, something it just in the last couple of years, I grew up in a very old school household, which is, walk it off, you guys have to be tough. I was, very conservative upbringing, not dangerous conservative. Like, I'm not going to get into politics, but it definitely very conservative where, guys have to act a certain way. You have to be tough. You have to, walk it off. Don't cry. So that was instilled in me for the longest time that I'm 32. Only in the last couple of years, like when I was 29, I started going into counseling, and I started addressing just things about myself that I didn't even realize were problems. Like, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have these type of mental obstacles that I've obviously have lived with, but dealing something with ignorance and just knowing what's happening and addressing it are two different things. To just
very different.
To blindly ignore something is not a good way, because you're just blindly walking through a minefield. At some point, you're going to step on that mine, and it's going to mess you up. Whereas now that I'm aware of, and I'm taking medication now, I'm actually going to start looking into seeing another counselor, because I did a lot of moving around at one point, so I had to stop seeing my previous counselor. So I'm looking to see another one, because there are old habits that I want to address, because I want my relationship with my fiance to be better. I want my relationship with my kids to be better, because something I noticed, not very recently, is kind of mentally stepping back, because I'm doing a lot of the same things my dad did to myself and my siblings when we were growing up. And I don't want, I love my dad to death, but I don't want to make those same mistakes that he made. I want to keep the good things he did,
but you don't want to parent the same way he parented.
Exactly. And that's something I told myself I didn't want to do long ago. And then it's just something I realized, like I catch myself saying and doing things that he did, and it did not make me happy. So,
well, one of the things that it says in there is that there's always a way. And they're right. There is always a way. It may not be the easiest way. It rarely is. Anything worth doing is hard.
Yeah.
And it may not be the most obvious way, but there is always a way. Whether that is you seek out counseling, whether that is you start focusing on working with a physical fitness trainer, or you do both. Because aligning your mind along with your body is a great way to keep discipline and keep focus and strive to maintain it. It's also knowing if you injure yourself to take care of it. It's also knowing if something traumatic happens, being able to take care of it, and be able to take care of yourself, and looking at how you manage things. And that is a way of maintaining and strengthening yourself as well.
100%. And yes, that is probably the most poignant thing in that whole description, is that there is always a way. And if there's anything I could add to that, is that it's as of right now, off the top of my head, I would say it's never too late. It's never too late to address something that needs to be addressed. And the sooner you do that, the sooner you can, mend relationships with your friends, find a proper healing mechanism with yourself if you're dealing with, mental illness. And of course that applies with physical stuff,
Yeah, it's finding a way to be able to work on your physical self. Like for me, I'm picking back up yoga. Yoga always helps me feel better, even with the autoimmunes that I have. Being able to do yoga daily or every other day helps with how I feel, helps with how I feel physically, helps with how I feel mentally. Being able to take walks, being able to go hiking, stuff along those lines. It's maybe not the most exhausting thing you can do, maybe not the most physical fitness that you can push, but it is doing something. It does help me feel better. And it does help me cope with the physical problems that I have. So there is always a way. The way may not be obvious. The way may be difficult. It may be hard. It usually will be. But even if you feel like there isn't a way, reach out and ask somebody, whether that's reaching out to your doctor or your therapist or your mom or your best friend, or if you're in a community like ours, being able to reach out to one of the leaders of the community and saying, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. I can't see a way out. Can you help me maybe find that path?
Yeah.
Can you help me maybe find the focus that I'm missing, or just let me talk to you while I try and verbalize out what I'm feeling. That's something that it may not be the way that you want to go. It may not be the direction that you like. You might be feeling self-conscious about it or shy about it, but in the end, that's what community leaders are for. And in the end, it'll help you find the path that you need to find and help you walk the path you need to walk, regardless of what it is about. There is always a way to help you focus and train and discipline yourself.
100%. And to emphasize your point, yeah, like on the Discord, the most servers will have like in Gaul chat and I think the BNG Discord, and I'm pretty sure the Senobessus Bolgon. Most of these servers will have a venting section or a thoughts and prayers section where people can vent what's going on, and people will be. I don't think I've ever seen a negative thing in there where it's usually very uplifting. People offering advice or just saying, "Hey, I'll pray for you," or I'll do this for you. And I think, you know, I don't think I've ever done it or seen it in like on the Gaulish Polytheism or the TG YouTube or Facebook pages, but I'm sure you probably could reach out that way if you're just not on Discord. There is always a way, like you said. And to touch on like you were saying, like you're doing yoga. Like I know something I thought about getting into is something called DDP yoga. I'm a wrestling fan. DDP is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And two, that low impact fitness is a great way to work out while, you know, not damaging your joints. Or if you have, like, in the case of like Jake the Snake Roberts or Scott Hall, just like people who they need surgery on their joints, it's a great way to work out without putting stress on that. When I was in the military, we came back from Iraq, and one of our Marines, she had hurt her back really, really bad. I think she was in a car accident, I believe. So she couldn't go out running. She you know, the back is
Complicated.
Very complicated. But instead of like going out for, you know, our 5K run like we would have to do, they got in touch because we were a reserve unit. And any military people are probably going to make fun of me because I'm a reservist. I was a reservist, but like I spent most of my time on active duty. Anyway,
you're old like me.
Yeah. But they found accommodations at a local hotel where there was a swimming pool, and they, instead of her having to go run with us or do anything that would affect her back, she went and did swimming every day in the pool. And again, no impact. So she was able to get in physical fitness and work out her body without doing any damage to her back whatsoever. And I saw her a couple of years ago before I moved over here to Washington, and yeah, she was doing great. So again, yeah, and we can't stress this enough. It's never too late, and there's always a way. Whether it's physical or mental, there's always a way to find strength and find healing.
Don't be afraid to reach out.
Exactly. I knew I was forgetting
something. Which is easier said than done, and I'm aware of that. I am 100% guilty of that myself. But
yeah, for the longest time, like I was very skeptical about counselors and therapists. Essentially, we weren't even really officially boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, but my now fiance had had to convince me to go see a counselor, and I couldn't have been any more wrong about the benefits of seeing a therapist, or just talking to someone, being able to reach out. And just
a lot of the time therapy is a lot more accessible now with things like Cerebral, which is an app, with various online methods that you can go in and you can Google it and you can find somebody in your area who does low cost therapy, or does low cost therapy online. If you're a veteran, go to the VA. It's not always the best option, but go to the VA.
No, and I second that. Trust me, I have my issues with the VA, but if you don't have any other options, go to the VA. There's some things you just don't walk off.
Yeah, there really is some things you just don't walk off. But I lost my thing that I was looking for. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry.
That's all right.
Cut that out. So I got kind of a short attention span for a second.
It happens. Well, I think that does it for this episode. So
I think it does just about do it for this episode. Yeah. So
check us out on our social medias. Check out the YouTube. I'm not putting myself on a schedule. The podcast will come out when it comes out. This one, I definitely I'm going to aim for the 15th, just because it's very, very ceremonious, I feel. Just follow us on the social medias. I personally am on TikTok now. I'm not sure if I'm going to commit to doing a GaulCast TikTok yet.
We have a GaulCast TikTok. I just don't think we've actually ever used it.
We do? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I got the login for it. It's fine.
That's news to me.
You know what? We can do clips. We can do clips from various episodes.
Let's do that. Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. I'm really happy to be back. And thank you again to, I'm going to butcher his name.
Daglaberos.
There we go. Sorry, it's too many D names. Thank you to Daglaberos. Yeah. I appreciate you filling in for me. You can find us on GaulCast.com. You can also find us on GaulCast Podcast on Twitter, I want to say.
Yeah,
and then GaulCast Podcast. GaulCast on Instagram. We have a TikTok. We might start using it. I'm probably going to pull some clips and post them. I'm the worst. And tune in next month for our next episode, which I believe is prayers, rituals, and something else that I don't have directly in front of me.
Yeah, I'll prayers, rituals, and devotionals. I will. Yes. I'll be working on scheduling that, because our the two guests that we have for that, they're going to be sharing not only the topic, which is prayers, rituals, and devotionals, what I just said, but they're also going to promote their tradition, House of the Bull. I don't know the Gaulish name for it. They will explain that when we have
butcher it anyway.
We butcher it anyway, but they'll explain that when we have them on. Just pray that we're able to schedule it, because they're
not. We'll skip it and come back to it.
Yep, exactly. That'll always be on the back burner. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you later.
All right. See you next time.